I just had quite a night. So I fell asleep earlier. It's a weird pattern I'm into right now. I end up falling asleep during the day because I didn't get much sleep the night before. So that's usually when I've been up during the night and I've been sleeping during the day. So I've still been productive. I just, things are flipped. Plus, it's not like I'm going anywhere during the day, so I know I'm not missing out on anything. I have a job, but I'm not really worked. They haven't sent me a shift in, it's been about 3 or 4 weeks now. Really, I think 4 weeks, that's ridiculous. And my last, last pay, the time we were supposed to be paid, because we're paid every other, was it Thursday or whatever, so, yeah, I went on and they completely skipped over me. I didn't have much to give me, but it's not like they ever do, because usually it's like 16, maybe 20 bucks, maybe 23, maybe. But anyway, tonight, well, let's just say earlier this morning, because it's technically the next day, I worked all through the night. Last night, right, okay, earlier this morning, I keep saying last night was a power morning for me, because I was making a video, actually, in the middle of all I was filling out applications. It was titled, what was it titled? It was titled, Connections. Trying to make connections without any connections, previous connections. What I meant is, and it did relate, because I was literally filling out a job application, one of the many, and, I'm sorry, when you've been staring at a screen for a while, I was staring at that screen, I was starting to get a headache, and trying to look somewhere else, but yeah, so I'm kind of out of it right now. But yeah, I was talking about connections, because I was filling out applications for places like Target. That's where I started out, Target and things like that, and other more minuscule things like that. And I was like, is it really going to mean anything? Because, okay, so you put it like on your resume, right? Okay, I've worked here, but what does it really matter? Let's say you're trying to get into, a job that isn't just retail, or a job that isn't fast food, and what does it really matter? Working on these little minuscule jobs, again, like when you're trying to get into a, looked at to be a higher branch of stuff, right? In most places, I've learned that college doesn't even help you with that. You're told, go to college, get a degree, get a good education, but education and what? Things change so often today, and suddenly you come out of school and your degree means nothing because the job isn't even relevant anymore, or it's not, it is, but maybe you didn't know that you had to look up the relevancy of the job in your particular area, or even in your state. So now, you have to move, and it's just a lot. Just a lot. And plus, I've heard before, college doesn't mean anything. A connection does. The only major out there kind of rare connection that I have is that Vedker. I keep saying Vedker. Vector thing. But I didn't really completely follow through, I should say. Because like I said, that position, I even said it in the other video, that position was going to take me to a whole nother level that I wasn't in the position to fully, I wouldn't have been the best for that job at the time, and that job didn't work for my situation. Yeah, so that's the only connection that I have, and I guess, okay, at least it's something, but still, I'm just basically, I was looking at those job offerings, and I was getting a little bit worried, because I'm like, am I going to be stuck at jobs like this for the rest of my life? Because not even college can help you. And I've heard it so many times, it's the connection, not college. But what kind of connections can I make? What kind of actual connections that are actually worth something, right? that can I make and can actually have to back me up? Because I don't know any people. Like, okay, if I have 5 or 6 different jobs here, 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 whether it's at Target or whether it's at here or Staples or whatever, so what? I mean, when you're trying to get into a company or to another business that again is higher than these other minuscule jobs, whatever, right? You're stuck in the same standard placement. Well, you have your references and you list your experience, past work experience, whatever. But still, if you go to that manager or the boss, whatever, whoever you're talking to when you're trying to get this job, again, in this upper or, more upper level to you, I guess, as it seems to you, branch of work or field, well, what is it going to matter to them if you toss out names? Okay, well, this was the name of my last boss, this was the name of my last manager, so what? I don't know them. They're just I feel like they're going to be thinking, okay, well, so what? I mean, I don't know anything about them. I don't know anything about the remarkable work that they've done, right? Because they're just another manager blockhead, right? Because think about it, there's so many managers and so many people who are put into positions that, they're not really built for it. You understand? And then, I know about this a lot because I've gotten stuck with so many idiots and so many people who depend on, the employees to do certain things and run and go fetch, what is it, materials for the store and, run around for them and mark off stock and, and all this stuff. And it's like, okay, so am I taking over your job now? And plus, managers, I mean, like I said, just because you're a manager doesn't mean they work a certain way. Managers, team shift leaders, they're kind of interchangeable because, just because you have a manager doesn't mean that they're going to actually know the ins and outs of everything about the job. Doesn't mean they were the best for the job. So I'm just saying, or even that they're that credible. Again, what is it going to matter to this, executive person, whoever you're talking to, right? At the time, the minuscule references that you have or whatever, because they don't know these people. They, this manager that you worked underneath, whether it's this one or the other 8 references or managers, whatever, that you may have had, I mean, they don't have any credibility to them. They were just another manager, at a McDonald's somewhere. Doesn't matter how good they say or work you were, because they don't have anything credible to their name. They're not known for any remarkable, thing. That builds them up as well. They don't really have a reputation. They're just another, another one who's in and out, right? There are going to be plenty more sloppy managers that come in and out. Maybe you have a good one in between having 13 managers, but still, what is it going to matter? Because they still have the same deemable reputation. It doesn't stand out. So that's what I was getting at about connections. Just had to touch on that, but I can't believe this has taken 8 minutes already. I would assume it would have been like 4 or 6. But, yeah. I have filled out, just like for the record books, I guess, I filled out, hang on, let me count. Yeah, I counted 9 so far, but I also have to go back in detail because one application I filled it out for multiple locations, so let me count that as well. Yeah, I filled out 15 applications in the hours or whatever that I've been staying up. So, 9 and then plus the other 6. So, yeah, man, I mean, this was a power night for me. I kind of reached the point where I got so used to answering just the same stupid questions. One thing that I thought was weird, they kept asking specifically, they always ask you about like your race or whatever, but still, they put Latino and Hispanic separate from the other races, and it's like it was a specialty, and this is for every single application. And it really, again, what I was talking about in the other video, it makes, there is seriously a system of things, how things are set up, right? Because they know that certain races tend to go in certain areas, they, again, who are they, right? It's people have been paying attention, the elites, whatever, the people in charge, government, they keep, they pay attention. I feel like the reason why they kept asking specifically about Latino and Hispanic um, stuff is the fact of, be honest, like, again, you see, who are usually the people that you see, construction, or you see, on the side of the road, cleaning up the streets and things like that, and curb appeal and mowing the lawns and yard work. I mean, it's usually, yeah, you're Hispanic, Latino guys, whatever. Um, yes, I mean, and it's even, there are plenty of jokes that, like, running gags when it comes to those people, Latino people, um, that they're hardworking people, and you can get cheap labor out of them, right? Because they don't really know any better. Because most of them, they're just, they seem to be foreigners, right? Like, and I mean, I can vouch for that. I mean, I'm not saying every single one, but I can vouch for that. Like, a lot of times whenever I'm around a lot of Latinos or Hispanics, like, even at, like, my jobs, no matter where it is, they don't hardly speak any English. It's hard to understand them. You don't know what the hell they're trying to tell you. They can't talk to you. So, you can just, you can kind of cheat them, or it's easier to just hire a bunch of these people, but yet you know that they're not going to really know the ins and outs of how things work, right? Because if they haven't been assimilated, right, like someone who was born and raised here, naturalized, whatever you want to call it, right, and they're not going to know the ins and outs of systems and how things work here. I'm not even talking about, like, the underground systems, but I mean the general setup of democracy, right, as it's said to be, and money, and the ins and outs of money, and shares and things like that, and interest rates, and all the specialized stuff, right? I mean, really, like, they're known to be the ones to get down and do the dirty grub work, right? They're hard workers, and they do the stuff that usually other people don't want to do, because they don't want to be bothered with it, or they're lazy, or, stubborn, or, whatever, right? Meanwhile, they know that, and also it's taking advantage of the fact that they know, again, I've also said this plenty of times, these people, where are they usually coming from? They're coming from, their lower end families. They're trying to support their other 13 people that they have living with them at home, or whatever. Or even if it's just the one kid that they have at home, fine. But still, they know they're at a disadvantage because, you know, um, immigration has been such a hot thing, I'd say, for a while. Even before people have recently started talking about it, like in the news or whatever, immigration has always been a kind of touchy, more specialized thing as far as the government goes. They always try to keep a handle on it, Um, and to be honest, anyone who's Hispanic, like, there's like this subconscious thing in my mind. I don't mean to do it, but it's like I always assume that they're not from here. I always assume like they're an immigrant, they're a foreigner. Um, Sometimes I'm right, it's just, yeah. But other times, it's weird. It's weird for me sometimes because it's another example is I'm one I don't like. I never liked it when, people would make jokes about, like, gay guys. They'd be like, okay, you can tell when someone's gay because da da da, or, you know, a gay guy walks like this, a gay guy talks like this. I wouldn't like that, but at the same time, I knew what they were talking about because I had, like, this subconscious thing even in my head. Whenever I saw a guy standing a certain way, whenever I heard him talking a certain way, I'll be like, I mean, I can tell that guy's a little bit, there's something going on, whether he's gay or not. Like, he's definitely more effeminate. Like, it's kind of like a, pick of the litter. Like, you're kind of drawn out, right? So, I mean, and whenever I would realize that I was doing this, I would be like, oh, God, stop. Like, why am I doing this? But I still do it. It is what it is, and I can't help but to wonder if something's going on there with them, whether it's a man or a woman. With anybody. Like, if someone comes at you and they're angry and they're really aggressive, I would walk away from that conversation thinking, okay, well, they're naturally just a really pushy person. I mean, try saying that fast, pushy person. I know it sounds immature, and it sounds, like a kiddie version or whatever, pushy person. But yeah, I mean, really, like, these are things that have stayed with me and they're in my mind, whether I like it or not. Anyway, I'm just saying another example that really hits home for me. Um, it is what it is. But I feel like, yeah, the system really takes advantage of these people. Um, Definitely, because they know it's not like these people have much else. So they're kind of forced to slop into these jobs, and they sure do a, damn well job at it, right? So you can kind of like, you can always kind of depend on these types of people to do certain things, and it's not like they know any better, right? So anyway, that's why I feel like they kept mentioning the Latino and things like that. Affirmative action equal employer? No, no. Otherwise, you wouldn't be asking all these. I feel like some of the questions they ask really open things up for ageism, sexism, racism, or whatever. When they put others above you and they put you into slots and categories. Um, Even the tax questions that they ask, like, have you or your family members ever, used food stamps, or, were you referred, was this job referred to you by some kind of a federal agency? I'm like, what the, no, like, I'm just applying for a job. Like, why are you asking all these weird questions? But again, I have to remember the underground. There's always an underground. Always. The key is, when are you going to realize it? When are you going to wake up, and when are you going to actually sense and actually acknowledge and come to terms with it, and yet alone, the more you learn about it, the more you can know how to deal with it next time. Again, I guess that special fancy word, experience. Anyway, that's all I have. I'm out. I know that I'm tired and my eyes are kind of, you know, um, yeah. It is 6:55 a.m. and it is the 8th. No, I'm sorry. It's the 9th of July, 2016. It is Saturday. I think it's Saturday. I think. Yeah, it's Saturday. I'm out, y'all. My eyes. I'm out.